I think we should start.
You should start? Okay. I'll start with a small prayer, as usual. Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Sachit Sukha Swarupaya Swamini Tapaharini Swamini Tapaharini. A very good morning to one and all. Today would be discussing about the importance of chakras and how paramount it is in the practice of yoga, in the theoretical aspects of yoga too. I should reveal that there have been crazy schools going on in the name of yoga. I wouldn't be mentioning what all they are, but on the name of yoga, there have been many practices, many schools that have been, popular all around the West, I should say. The basic idea behind this crazy, what should I call as crazy trend, I should call it as. Idea behind it is to unravel the unknown. If something is unknown, you become very curious about it. So it is to unravel those unknown facets. They actually make it kind of business. I really do not know what chakra yoga is and what do they do in that school. I'm very sorry. I will not be able to critically analyze what chakra yoga is and how it works upon. But I will definitely picturize, give a small picture about all chakras and what they are. In fact, you got to bring in that balance, strike that energy balance in those chakras. What do you got to do? I might throw some light upon those things. So there are many points that I have wrote it down for this class. So please excuse me if I am looking down upon my notes and then discussing with it. Is hell a lot. There are innumerable number of chakras. Some people in the scriptures talk about the number of chakras as many as number of stars that you see in the sky. Some people construct it to be 12. Many believe that they are 7 in number. Why 7 in number? Because these 7 chakras are workable chakras. You can work upon it because they are, although they are non-tangible, you can really work with it, induce energy in it, and then progress ahead. So these 7 chakras are called as Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraka, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agnya, and Sahasrara. So I'll be discussing each and every chakra in detail. Hopefully I would finish it within an hour's time. Before that, can I request you all to please enable your videos? That actually helps me to create a student-teacher environment. We're all teachers, so attuned to speaking and, seeing the student's face. Sorry, I can't help it with, blank screen ahead and if I talk. So if you could excuse. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. So Muladhara. Muladhara is said to be the root chakra, the primary chakra, and this is the chakra where you actually draw that innate energy that you have inside, which we call as Kundalini. And when you strike balance in this Muladhara chakra, then you will be able to draw forth more of Kundalini. That's what Muladhara is. And hence it is called Mula Adhara, the origin and the base of all the chakras, and it is located at the spinal root, spinal base. Not exactly at the spinal base, but a few inches behind the spinal base, spinal root. Now, what a chakra means? Is it a spinning wheel? Just as the chakra word says, you kind of talk, you kind of tell that these are discs shaped, but basically I see them as lotus. When these lotus open, blooms up, then the energy travels through the small tendrils of energy channels. So each and every uh, chakra is picturized as lotus. If you could see those pictures over there, only because when this lotus opens, when this chakra opens, then there is this energy transfer. Talking about Muladhara Chakra more, these chakras are basically, as Manish rightly said, are psychic centers. There is no physiological existence, there is no physical existence as such. So when I say that these chakras are psychic centers and you want to bring in some energy balance in it, it is not definitely done by, patting your tail, patting your spinal root and then, drawing forth the energy. It is not done that way. If you're going to, jump up and down on that spinal root, I don't think so the energy will move up. So why? For the only reason it is not physically existing there. When I say it is a psychic chakra, yes. When you have this psychic transformation, when you bring in that behavioral transformation in life, then these chakras open. So to me, to everyone, as I represent the field of yoga experts here before you, to everyone out there, my gurus and my followers, my students, everyone, believe that only when you transform yourself in your behavior, only when you transform yourself in your psychological influences, then and there these lotus open up, then and there the energy transfusion is done. As simple as that. Now, talking about Muladhara Chakra, what is it handling it? What kind of system that it handles? And where do we, actually work upon? What is the kind of behavioral transformation that we are looking upon? Muladhara is basically for physical strength, vitality. Although it is represented in the spinal root, it is very, very important for reproductive system. If you are curious enough, please note it down. Why am I asking you to note it down? Because you might find some, relevance here. When there is energy imbalance that I'm talking about, you might find some relevance with you yourself, and then, find out where you have to work upon in your life. So when you have a problem in your bones, like arthritis, when you have a problem in your large intestine, like, problems in the assimilation and absorption, then it means there is some problem in the Muladhara, because Muladhara takes care of adrenal gland, your bones, your teeth, your large intestines, your legs and feet. If you have a weary and exhaustive legs, you walk in the mall and then you get tired easily. You try to find some chairs and then sit down on it, right? So if you are one such a person, then there's trouble in this Muladhara. Is this mental activity that it talks about. When you are Muladhara influenced, you are very passionate. Your driving force is strong. You feel motivated. Your willpower is strong. You are creative with words and actions. There are many diverse fields in creativity. I dance, I can sing. Roxy can, write poems, and Aurelia can write essays and, notations, connotations. So there is this creativity with regard to action and words. Muladhara is responsible for creativity with action and words. and it brings in endurance, courage, confidence is what this brings in. Why? Because it is located in the ground. So when you are grounded more, you know, you have that willpower, you have that courage, you have that determination and confidence in you. When this Muladhara is influential, when this Muladhara is opening up. Now, it is not 100% energy that we are, expecting of. If there is 100% energy, it might actually seem there is excess kind of energy. And we are not talking about something between 20 to 30% of energy, because it is very low energy. We in yoga talk about moderation. Samatvam yoga muchyate, right? There should be moderate amount of energy in all the 7 chakras, which amounts to 60 to 70% of energy. You know, if this is moderation, then this 60 to 70% of energy should be all throughout the 7 chakras. When you find 20 to 30 in Muladhara, 50 to 60 in sacral plexus, solar plexus chakra, then there is trouble. Then there is excess energy in your Manipuraka and low energy in Muladhara. So generally the energy has to be normally distributed. So when you have excess amount of energy in Muladhara, what kind of person you become? You become a more dominative, more possessive, more addicted to wealth. You feel insecure because there is not much of money with you. That insecurity comes with excess energy. You feel revengeful, wrathful. Anger is very intense in such personalities. When there is low energy in Muladhara, it is just the opposite. You have lack of confidence in you. You are not grounded properly. You don't accept to the terms of reality. For some time you will feel like, okay, my friend is saying this, perhaps she is becoming a critic now. She is no more a friend. She is very jealous of me. Now that you don't pay heed to it, you actually run away from the reality. You're not grounded properly. So that is the kind of unstable energy that you see in Muladhara. And what happens because of that? When you find excessive energy or low energy in Muladhara, people are easily afflicted to heart diseases, hypertension. By the term hypertension, I mean high blood pressure. Okay. And there might be problems in kidney, bladders. You might be a renal patient, and you might have varicose veins when you don't actually pee at all. Or if you are peeing a lot, you are a diabetic patient. These all things comes because of unstable Muladhara. And certain things will also repeat in sacral chakra, and the next chakra which we see, that is also equally responsible for reproductive system. So diabetes mellitus is one system where it is both a reproductory disorder and a metabolic disorder. So you will find some similarities in the chakra imbalances also. So you should actually see where you or your friend or your parent lie in this kind of situation. So here I'm talking completely about yoga therapy. Now, yoga says there is some kind of intelligence between this chakra and body. Beautiful it is. When you strike the balance in the chakra by bringing in an emotional transformation, by bringing in a transformation in your behavior, the body actually responds to it. You might have learned about many reversal campaigns of heart diseases, of anginal patients. Diabetes is one such disorder, which we are working for. The entire world is working with the reversal. So there are reversal campaigns happening, and these reversal campaigns actually bring in paramount importance to such facets where you bring in changes in yourself. Now, when body starts to respond to this energy balance in the chakras, then slowly your disorder also vanishes away. You wean away from all those diseases that you suffer from. That's so beauty about it. Now here in Muladhara Chakra, if you want to become a stable person, if you want to throw away, get rid of all those disorders and diseases, how should you act? Number one, please note them down. You should be able to stand for yourself. Simply starting with saying no to things. Sometimes we end up doing everything and then all those responsibilities becomes burden, right? So now you know that these are the things in reality I'll be able to do. Those are the things I wouldn't be able to do. So start from that step where you start saying no to things which you really don't feel like doing, things are not of your genre, and things you do not want to risk upon. That's the one thing that you have to start with. That keeps your individuality on. A second thing, Muladhara energy balance will happen when there is flexibility. Now, Manish might be saying, oh, this is what Chakra Yoga teaches, flexibility. No, it is not that flexibility of Paschimottanasana, bringing knee to bringing forehead to your knee that we are talking about. The ability to adapt to the situations. Now, come what may, how flexible you are. There are new guests coming upon your house and they haven't even called you up. What will happen? You don't have much food and you haven't cooked. Many things that you have to take care of, the beddings, their blankets, everything. So when there are new things coming to your life, the ability to accept those new things is what the flexibility or adaptability means. So the second thing is adaptability. And the third thing is the groundedness, which I've been mentioning quite a lot. What is being grounded? Understanding this is reality. If you keep on blaming your partner that he is disinterested, this is how he was 10 years ago. And this is how he is even now. What is there to blame upon? He hasn't changed, and you have been knowing him all throughout, right? So understanding the reality, make yourself grounded more. Otherwise, what will happen? You start to build in those fairy tale stories in your minds. You'll be amongst the clouds. A beautiful prince will come and kiss you. All such nonsense. That doesn't happen in reality. So being grounded is to accept the reality. And the fourth important thing is let go control over people and situations. Muladhara people, when there is an imbalance in Muladhara, these people are very, egocentric. They try to control people. They are modern Hitlers. Hitlers at homes. So they try to control over people. They love dominating, they love influencing people, they will take you to a restaurant and then they'll make you eat what they liked. So that's how people are. Aurelia could connect to people, her own people, set of people. Yeah, I can see that. This is good, right? When you see and talk to people, when you see and teach people, this is how you get to know. So relate. Now, where do they have to work upon? It is not that Paschimottanasana and Padasana will not help. They will definitely help. But what kind of idea will I bring? Only with physical exercise I can bring in a psychological difference? No, that will not happen. I keep on saying, when you do an hour's practice on the mat, the entire 23 hours you are spending time in hurting people. What kind of change that it made? I really don't understand. The lesson has to be incorporated the other 23 hours that you have in your life. What is the lesson? The lesson of detachment, the lesson of accepting the reality, lesson of let going people. let going situations, just as you let go in Shavasana. That lesson has to be incorporated in your behavior, in your life, in your emotions. That transformation has to happen. And when this transformation happens, Muladhara opens and there is balance in the perfect balance that is being struck in this chakra. And then slowly energy moves to the second chakra. Now the second chakra is called Swadhisthana, or otherwise we can term it as Spleen Chakra. Why spleen? It is not exactly at the spleen. It is just above the female or male reproductory organ. It is the sacral center that we have. And again, there is no physical existence. There is no physiological existence. Yes, by the psyche, you can influence your systems, your physiological system, your respiratory system, your immunity, your lymphatic system. So hence, chakra holds some responsibilities over systems. Just as in Muladhara, we talked about it. It is in the spinal root, so it takes care of spine and all those spinal nerves. Okay. Similarly, Swadhisthana is responsible for lower digestive system, like small intestines, rectum, colon, sigmoid colon, transcending colon, descending colon, all those things. It is also responsible for reproductory system to a certain extent. Basically, female reproductory system. Male reproductory system is taken care of Muladhara more. Female reproductory system is a little, put up a little high over. Yes, Aurelia is right. So it is responsible for more of female reproductory system. And mentally, it is responsible for bringing new perspective to lives. When you bring in new perspective to life, there is one beautiful thing happening in you. That is dissolving all the mental blockages. The earlier mental blockages dissolves. All those misconceptions and preconceived ideas that you had for people, preconceived ideas that you have for situations of your job, this job is worse, well, let me get another one. And then you suffer the next job also. So such preconceived ideas break. So that's a beautiful thing that happens when you strike balance in Swadhisthana. What happens when there is excessive energy? What are those kind of people? They are emotionally explosive people. This is sex energy. So sexual energy is very, very predominant in there. So all those emotions comes out in an explosion, like a volcanic eruption. Anger will come out like rage, and if they are showering love, it would be so, so explosive that you will get suffocated with their love. So such explosive emotions, and you get to have this obsessive thoughts for sex, and you become competitive. You're very passionate. Sometimes you are childish, and hence you pick up things for addictions. Drug abuse is very easy for such people, because they need some changes in life, some drastic and terrific change they want in life. So that's because of excess energy in this Swadhisthana. So when there is deficient energy, when there is a lack of energy in Swadhisthana, what happens? These people become very shy. They don't speak much. They become oversensitive. They keep things to themselves. They buries their emotions inside. All those things. Either there is an excess energy or there is a deficient energy. The body is going to suffer a lot, because systems are very much inconducive with your mind, with your psyche and the energy. So the first and foremost thing that happens bad with Swadhisthana imbalance is skin allergies. Skin is very sensitive, and since they are also sensitive, they have the skin allergies more. And you could find cases of breast cancer. There is this problem in the mammary glands that they get. It's because of this female reproductive system that it is handling. So It is also important for lower digestive system. So you might get, hemorrhoids, piles, extreme constipations, This can also happen with this Swadhisthana imbalance. Some people, because of, keeping things to themselves, might get depression. That is not chronic depression that I'm talking about. That is a kind of mild depression that they experience because of this Swadhisthana imbalance. Asthma is one another disorder, is very, very crucial in this case. When you have this Swadhisthana imbalance, bronchial asthma um, is very much there. And varicose veins, have you heard of these? Yes. And this is because of improper water retention in the body. Too much of water getting retained in the body, and the veins getting, the veins, vessels of the veins getting dilated, and it becomes so thick that you can even see them, bluish veins over your thighs, over your legs, over your calves, and all those things. And this leads to improper urine outlet. It also leads to a cardiac risk. So many things can happen with varicose veins. Varicose veins happens because of Swadhisthana imbalance. And how do you stop this? How do you bring in balance? What is the chakra body intelligence that we need to take care of? Stop blaming people. When you stop blaming people, when you stop blaming God, when you stop blaming others, Swadhisthana energy gets restored, balanced. Why people blame? Because they feel this disconnectedness. And we have been in and out through Advaita Vedanta, all these with Satsanga series. What we learned is experience that oneness. Jalba, Simona is someone different, Roxy is someone different, Alexandra is someone different, worshipping the sun. Lalita is someone different, worshipping the Devi. No. All of them are one. That oneness will actually make you stop blaming people. Will you blame your right hand? Oh, why did you hurt me? I'll not talk to you, I'll not give food to you. You don't do that. You don't do that. Just as your right hand is, just as your left hand is, just as your face is, all this is yours, all this is you. Same, in a similar manner, find everyone as you. There's nothing against you, nothing beyond you. It is you all around, So when that wisdom does dawn, then you stop blaming people. And a lot of anger management has to be done by such people. How do you do that? My kind advice for such people is, yes, yoga practice can definitely help, but not only yoga practice. I keep on saying that. Please understand, practice should lead to some kind of transformation. If there is no transformation involved, then it is not practice at all. You are just jumping on and off in the air, doing some physical activity. Is equivalent to an aerobic activity. You can either climb the stairs up and come down for 20 minutes. That's wonderful. There is not much of a difference. The point here is anger management. While you learn that pranayama, when you feel wrathful, when you feel revengeful, this bloody guy had, done wronged me at many circumstances. Why shouldn't I punish him? That vindictive nature inside you actually creates that excessive anger. Now, understanding that particular person has come into your life to teach you something, to make you grow through those phases. When you understand that, and then work upon your inner system, the mightier sword is your breath. Pen is the mightiest sword, but I say the mightiest sword is your breath. When you work with your breath, when you could calm down your breath, when you could deepen the breath, when you could exhale twice longer than in your inhalations, that very moment your anger drops. Such terrific this module is. So when you have those vindictive nature, work with your breath. And while you manage your anger, it is not that you are, doing something good to that person. You are doing good to your own self. You're not boiling your blood. You're not having, creating that hypertension. Your blood pressure is not raising up. And first and foremost thing that you have to concentrate is to be happy and blissful. To be happy and blissful, let me just spit this anger. No? Let me not gulp it in it. Let me just throw it out. That's the idea that you should have. So when such behavioral transformations happen, there is this balance in the Swadhisthana. The first two chakras have been done. I'm moving to the third chakra. If there is any problem in the clarity of thought, please do let me. If you have any questions, please do let me. Let me know. Otherwise, I would, continue with the third chakra. Are these two chakras and the way of balancing these chakras clear? May I move ahead? Thank you. So the third one is Manipuraka or Manipura. It is called the solar plexus chakra. It is somewhere for, I'm using the term somewhere only because I really don't know. Nobody knows where it is. And hence I use the term somewhere. It is somewhere around, your navel. It is just not at the navel. It is just not above the navel, just not below the navel, somewhere around the navel. And hence it is very, very crucial, because it plays an important role in managing your pancreas, in managing your gallbladder, in liver, spleen, lungs, heart, to greater extent. Now, this important chakra, because it is responsible for such important vital organs functioning, creating a balance in Manipuraka chakra is very difficult. And if Manipuraka chakra is balanced, you are half yogi. I would call you a half yogi. So it stimulates diaphragm, liver, pancreas, spleen, stomach, gallbladder, autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is that nervous system which is responsible for your stimulation and relaxation. Stimulation is done by your sympathetic nervous system and relaxation is done by your parasympathetic nervous system. So through stress, when you just jog yourself out, when you're moving to the office, with a terrific speed, you're driving your car, it is all that stimulation that is working. When you find your boss being late and you're already in your chair, then you're relaxing. That is this parasympathetic nervous system, right? So this is working completely all throughout, 24/7. This is working. So autonomic nervous system is taken care of this Manipuraka chakra. What happens when there is excess energy in Manipuraka? Most of all comes into this parenthesis, I feel. Many people become workaholic. Many people become perfectionist. They are very demanding as an employer. When you're given an authority, you try to exercise that authority, you try to cut throat of that employee, and then find out the best results. And then you think at best results, when it comes, my salary gets appreciated. Doesn't work that way. But still we try to exercise our role a little lot more. With these people, there is this swinging thing happening between superiority complex and inferiority complex. Sometimes they feel very superior, sometimes they feel bad, and sometimes they feel worthless, So there is this swinging emotions of superiority and inferiority complex with them, fluctuations that you could see. They always complain about relationships. Either my mother is bad or my life partner is bad, my cat is very naughty, Huh? Such complaining about relationships happen only with Manipuraka. I tell you, Manipuraka chakra directly decides how healthy your relationship, how worst your relationship can be. How is this possible? Manipuraka is in me. Relationship is somewhere outside. How is that possible that my relationship with my kid will affect my Manipuraka, if will affect my navel chakra? You know, whenever you have a fight with your partner, the next day you will definitely be constipated. You will definitely have an irritable bowel. You know, did you see that? Do you see that coming? Yeah, yeah. Or other, if you have forgotten those events, you can try it tonight. You can pick up a fight and then find out what happens tomorrow in the bathroom. Manipuraka is very much responsible for your relationship. When there is excess energy in the Manipuraka, there is some trouble in your relationship. When there is lack of energy in the Manipuraka, which means you have lost someone, someone very dear for you, or it is just not lost by death. It can be lost by leaving the person. So such things can happen. When there is low energy, you worry about what other people think. People don't care about what people think outside, but these people who have this very low energy in Manipuraka always grudges. Oh, he might be thinking this, that person might be thinking that. Very confused they would be. They feel that they have been controlling, others have been controlling their life. I have a few participants coming from me for counseling. They used to say, uh, all these years I was the youngest brother. All these years my 4 sisters have ruined my life. They have made nothing like a woman. I'm a man. I've never felt a man in my house because they have been dominating just because they are elders and I'm the youngest one. I had to do all those my sisters did. And then later on, I thought after wedding, this will, stop. My wife starts to dominate me. And in the end, with the tug of war of relationship between my mother and my wife, I am nowhere found. My individuality is lost. Such are the people who come under this category, very low Manipuraka. So what you got to do? Make them understand that relationship is not imposed upon you. Relationship is what you build by your own hands. It is not never imposed. When you have a dominating sister or a dominating life partner, how do you handle him? When you have a subdued life partner and then you want that man to just man up, how do you handle that person? So that is the way you build a relationship, and hence Manipura is very, 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 very essential to bring in balance in the Manipura. Poor digestion is found in such people, and they will not be able to put their thoughts into actions. I've seen people who just, can't speak properly. They try to think about the words and then they tremble with the words. They do not know how to think clearly and how to put into words also. And they have this problem putting the words into action. That problem is also there. A tremendous lack of supply of energy is what this is revealing of. I've seen such people, who try to lock the door and then try to pull the locks downwards and upwards for rechecking whether it is locked or not. These are the people who needs lots and lots of reassurance. Tell me do you love me or not? No, I really love you. And after 2-3 hours in the park, please tell me whether you love me or not. This time for truth. They need a lot of reassurance. Why? Because they have this lack of energy in this Manipura. It is not the other fellow that they can, rely upon for love. He is already showing this love. He is already rendering the love, but we are not able to absorb only because of our mental conflict. No, only because of our mental block. But that psychic block has to open. If not open, what kind of disorders they can get? There would be an affected lung. There can be, bronchial asthma can also happen. Prostate gland situations, happens because of inefficient Manipuraka. Liver disorders. You might have heard about SGOT and SGPT, where the liver swells up like anything. Fatty liver, fatty liver grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Such disorders happen because of bad relationship, that you are building. It is not toxic relationship that you are into, but you build that relationship. Pancreas, diabetes mellitus is one such disorder. And you see 80% of the universe has diabetes. All those subjects in the universe. Why? Because of weak relationship. They do not know how to handle the relationship. Sad, depressing, but still, when you work upon this, the problem with them is that they are very lazy. Not lazy enough to walk or jog, but they are lazy enough to reconcile their relationship. They think this life is on. Okay, why do I have to bother? This is it. This is how my mother behaves. This is how my husband behaves. This is how my father behaves. They don't work it out because they are lazy. They do not want to encounter such, extreme situations where they have to work and reconcile. And hence I call them as lazy. Okay, so what kind of chakra body intelligence? What is that which makes this Manipuraka efficient? What is that which brings in that strong relationship we can build in? One is self-control. When you have this self-control, how do you practice this self-control? For example, I love ice creams a lot. Bring a ton, 3 bricks of ice cream and keep it in the refrigerator. Never touch one. Start practicing that. How is your mind fighting with you? Enjoy that fight. Put in yourself into that niyama. We call this as niyama in yogic language, the jargon, where you put yourself into examination. You test yourself how good your competency is, how resilient you are, to understand your own self. That is such self-control. When self-control is established, Manipuraka will start to bloom. When self-control is established, don't you think there would be a good reconciled relationship? No. Don't think the other way. I am practicing self-control. That person is not practicing self-control. My relationship will ruin. No. It will never act that way. We are all connected. We are all connected energy-wise. When you throw that energy, you will get back that same energy twice longer, twice intense. When you throw anger to the universe, twice intense, you will get frustration back. When you throw love energy, you will intensify that love energy and get it back. When you are, absolutely sickened mind, you are money minded, you are egoistic, when you throw that energy in the relationship, you will get the same, but in twice. Remember that. Don't ever think about the other party's reconciliation, because you are again in the wrong path by controlling them. You are not responsible for them. You are responsible for your own activity. Swadharmo niratam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, it is wise to act on your own duties, on your own responsibilities. What is your duty? What is your responsibility? To get, to bring a better human being in yourself. That is your swadharma. That is your ethic, right? Better be in yours rather than thinking about others, rather than jumping into conclusions that he has to do this and I got to do that, Self-control. The second thing is practice humor. When you are light-hearted, you have a fine, bowel movement. There will be no constipation issues. Practice humor. Allowing more and more new things into life. What happens is that we have created a comfortable circle around, that comfort circle has made us more comfortable, too comfortable that we don't get to go out. And when there is new things, when there is completely risky things involved in it, which you feel them to be risky, you are unable to accept them into your life. That non-acceptance, actually will give an opportunity. That acceptance will give you an opportunity where you can progress yourself. But by negating it, you have ruined that path, So allowing new things to come into life and practicing detachment. There are many things, but I'm just focusing on the crux that if you practice detachment. Previously, I was asked a question, what is detached actions? It is dropping the actions off. When I talk to a person and then I am counseling a person, I am thinking that there should be some kind of transformation. There should be some good thing happening in your life. And then I'm counseling. I have very much ruined that session just by this intention. In fact, I should have a detached attitude where I should be counseling the person. I'm talking to myself because my job is counseling people. When I counsel the person, I should drop that intention that he gives gravity to my words. When I drop that intention, I would be able to enter into his mind very smoothly. When you try to enter into others' minds in a better manner, you will be able to understand what he is thinking. And then when your line of thought and his line of thought matches, automatically he will listen to you, right? Right. So drop the intention of any objective of your action while you do it. That's detachment, not non-doing of actions. Okay. Uh, this is about Manipuraka. The fourth chakra is Anahata. Anahata is also called as heart chakra. Very interesting. Swami Vivekananda says this heart chakra is not there in the left hand side, but it is in the right hand side. There is this spiritual heart in the right hand side. So it does not do the lubbed up thing. What is this heart? This heart is the seat of all emotions. Okay. So now you can draw a line. When Manipuraka is about relationships, heart is about emotions. Anahata is about emotions. Anahata takes care of heart, lungs. It also takes care of shoulders, arms, and hence you can see when there is cardiac arrest, there is this shooting pain in the left hand. No? Hands are always connected to heart. So arms, shoulder blades are also responsible. Blood circulation. Anahata is responsible for blood circulation, good blood circulation. Anahata can bring in security, sense of security, unconditional love, sincerity, friendship, devotion in you. Now, what happens when the energy is excess in the Anahata? When Anahata dominant people, act, they try to overdo things. They are very critical about things. Suppose I clean a place. Okay, I do this mopping and dusting and micro cleaning. An Anahata dominated person comes up, oh, this is so dirty, yuck. Puts the finger over it and then shows me, oh, what kind of cleaning is this? What kind of micro cleaning is this? He is overcritical about things. He is very possessive. And when you touch such fellows' shoulder blades, your hands will not go in. It is so hard as a rock that you can find that tension over here. And then when you do a light massage, they are the person, yeah, you please do a little more, They are such persons, Anahata dominant. They are very shrewd people, and they try to utilize money to make things happen. They think that you spend a lot and then you get the work done. Always when I counsel such people, these are these people who tell that, look, I have made so many sacrifices for this relationship to happen. I was the one who withheld with love and the other party didn't. When you get such remarks, you definitely can understand that this person is not into unconditional love and his Anahata is a little high. Counseling can help, and there are many exercises. With Anahata, when you start to sing bhajans, their hearts start to melt. When you listen to such bhajans, very soothing classical music or Indian flute, their hearts start to melt. And that's how you can bring down the energy. And there are many other exercises. Somehow I just mentioned only one in this because this topic is really very rich. Manish had put me into, I thought I'm doing some homework in the 11th standard, 10th standard school I am in, but somehow it's a huge topic. Somehow I tried to put, there are very many healing exercises that you can adopt, when the Anahata, when the energy is excess and when the energy is deficient in any chakra. I would rather prefer that bring in behavioral transformation. Try to transform yourself. Try to bring in some change. Understand that because it is all psychically influenced. Anyhow, excess Anahata chakra can lead a person to hypertension, high blood pressure, and he can even get a heart attack. Cardiac risks, all the cardiac troubles are because of excess Anahata. These people are those who has the cervical spondylosis because they are already very stiff, their shoulder blades are very stiff. So cervical spondylosis are such patients. When the energy is very low in Anahata, what happens? Such people are very, very just antagonistic about it. They are completely opposite. They feel sorry for one own self. They feel guilty. When the Anahata is excess, they think that the other party is guilty. When the Anahata is very low, when the energy is very low in Anahata, they feel self-guilt. Self-guilt is even worse. I would say rather complain about some people, grudge about people rather than having guilt. Self-guilt can, lead to suicidal tendencies. So this is even worse. These people have problems in deciding things. They are practically very indecisive. They are always between conflicts, in between two ends. They are hyper emotional. They are so emotional that their logical mind doesn't work only. So that's the pitiest part. These people feel always that they have been abandoned. These are the persons who have long number of breakups. They have so many breakup stories to tell. They feel that always there is some problem in the opposite party. I am always abandoned. I am the person who have been working, but I was being thrown. So they are even fearful of rejection. So the problem with them is they are too emotional, they are too fearful to encounter with the situations of building good lives. They are over sentimental. They have problems in adjustments. They are never satisfied. Usually, Anahata energy becomes very low when your father or a mother gets a second marriage. It is for the child that suffers. And he or she, the child, reacts in such a manner. So what do we do with them is, uh, Westerners put them in foster care for some some reason to keep the parents away from the child. But here in Indian systems, we saw that the moral building with the second father and the second mother, stepfather and the stepmother, is done. They are brought to the society. There are different occasions and festivals where the stepdad or stepmom brings the child. So culturally they get mixed with. So that's what here in Indian system we do. Anyhow, moving ahead. So in such cases, how we strike the chakra body intelligence? Unconditional love. Sa tu asmin parama prema rupa. Manish, sorry, I've totally forgotten about shlokas. I didn't even write shlokas because it is coming all the way from here. So I'm very sorry I couldn't give you the shlokas in beforehand. Satu asmin parama prema rupa, says Bhakti Yoga Sutras. What is love? Sage Narada defines love as ultimate peaceful, love with the person, with the object, which is the highest. Look, you have a problem in the stepdad. You have a problem in the stepmom. You have a problem in your ex-boyfriend. You have a problem in your kid. But when you find the highest self in your ex-boyfriend, in your stepdad, in your stepmom, and in your kid, when you just find that highest self, there is no hate. There is no hatred. No? The highest self is what you are loving of. Who doesn't like peace? Can you just, bring your hands up? Who doesn't want to be peaceful? Everybody loves peace. Like everybody loves Raymond, right? Everybody loves peace. So peace is that highest self. And you naturally have that love for peace. When you find that highest self, that peace in your stepdad, in your stepmom, in your kid, in your ex, how could you hate them? That's what Narada says. Find that highest self in every being of the universe. You can't hate anyone. That's how you upkeep unconditional love. Forgiveness. I was told that forgive people not because you can't do any change about the past situation, not because you can't change people, but because you will be healthy. You will be pink in health when you start to forgive people. Why? You erase that unwanted memory completely, and then you start to move ahead, right? When you keep those grudges of the past all along hurting you within all these days, then you carry that. I'll give you a small story here. There was this guru in an ashrama, and a small young shishya that he had. He had no other shishya, he was just one. And this young chap used to serve him. He used to bring food, he used to give water. Whenever he is out of meditation, he used to, serve him. And all the time the guru is into meditation and samadhi and all. His ashrama was nearby the banks of a river. One fine day, what happened? Acha, before that, before the real story, I should tell, these ashramas, when Guru and Shishya system is done, the Shishya is not allowed to marry because they have to practice celibacy, they have to practice brahmacharya. So they are sort of weaned off with the sexual urges and grudges. So they are generally kept off women, you know. They also leave their houses, you know. If there is mother also, they don't get to see them. That's how they lead a sannyasi life. Okay. So one fine day, the Shishya and Guru went to take bath in the river. And there was this young lady who was drowning in the river. The Shishya couldn't, you know, stop himself. He swam across the river, pulled that lady over his back, you know, actually carried her over the back and then tried to swim across the river, and he laid her on the banks. After having, you know, actually pumping, doing the all the water coming out, and then he saved her life. And the lady was very thankful. She was young, beautiful. She was very thankful that you saved my life, and then she left. One day passed, 2 day passed, but the guru who was, you know, who saw this event of the Shishya saving that young lady didn't actually like it. I have already told him, you know, perfectly given him instructions not to touch any lady, not to see anyone. Why did he do it? Or otherwise, he would have at least told me that, okay, at least be merciful, please. I have done something good thing, saving her life. So at least he should have told me once. And he didn't even, you know, take my permission. So that kept on haunting in this guru's mind. I do not know why he is called the guru, but it is a story. So Guru didn't eat well, Guru didn't speak well to the Shishya. So Shishya was very upset. 2 3 days passed. One fine day he asked, did I do anything wrong? There is something wrong that I've done, because Guruji, you are not talking to me properly, you're not eating properly, you're not sleeping properly. There's some kind of grudge that you have inside. Please tell me. So he said, no, nothing. That was there in the mind, that I made you clear that you shouldn't be touching the woman or you shouldn't be speaking to anyone. But you did, and you didn't even, you know, care to ask me. So the Shishya replied, it is me just for 3-4 minutes who carried the lady over my back. But for the past 72 hours, Guruji, you've been carrying that lady in your heart. Who is the culprit, he is asking. And then Guru said, Shishya, you are no more a Shishya. You are my Guru now on, you know. He fell on his feet, and then both lived happily in their own sadhana. So forgiveness, you know, that's why I took the story of forgive whatever thing that has been happened behind, you know. Put those apart. If you keep on carrying things, it is going to get accumulated, and you know, you are no more the guru then. So forgive, and then be compassionate. Be aware that at no point my pride should dominate me. You know, we are all good in many manners. Manish is very good in practice. You know, Aurelia is good in her homeopathy. You know, Carolina should be good in her arts. Alina is good in her oration. I do not know. I'm just making it up, but still. So we are all good in our own ways. But sometimes by being good, by bringing all these talents and skills and potentials, we try to, you know, hold that pride for what we have earned, for what we possess. Anahata will, you know, get that imbalance when pride enters in the heart. Spiritual heart it is. So it should be with surrender and not with pride, you know. So when pride gently, you know, creeps in, Oh, pull that creepy fellow out. Pride should not be there in your spiritual heart. These three things, love, forgiveness, compassion, and pride not entering in the spiritual heart, is what you have to do to bring in balance in Anahata. I still have Vishuddha, Agnya, and Sahasrara to do. There are three more chakras, Manish. Can I move on till 4? Huh?
What I'm trying to tell you is, if four took 1 hour, then the other three will also take 45 minutes, let's assume. So let's
Yeah, yeah.
go for next session. Okay. And we
Fine, fine.
can also put some questions here. I also have one question here. So, okay, I will start and then maybe others will start. So, the good and bad thing about this session is, the good thing is that now we have some knowledge that this is happening, that is happening, this is present. And now the bad thing is we will start judging people. Okay. This, so she has a problem in Anahata Chakra. She acted like this. So maybe in the future.
I would call that as understanding people rather than judging people, you know. When you know that he has some problem, some excessive anahata happening, and he is very, you know, egoistic about it, then you show some pity upon him, you know. Sometimes you can, you know, actually make him learn the flute and then, you know, bring down that anahata. You can be more helpful rather than judging.
No, the problem is we have half knowledge, and that's more dangerous things. So I still remember last time when we asked you to give a lecture on some topic, and you said, no, 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 no. I don't think I'm capable of giving that lecture because I'm still learning. So,
Yes.
so that this is going to happen here, I think. I don't know about others, but maybe with me. So
Later on, we can actually create one more session of it, where we can actually discuss what are all the healing exercises that we can do, you know, through music, through singing, through chanting. How can we bring in the balance, and what all those techniques which are involved are, you know, all are part of yoga only: bhakti yoga, raja yoga, karma yoga, and jnana yoga only. But these small tips actually can, you know, if you could, my husband was actually telling me today that I should be singing a lot. I said, yes, you should be singing a lot, you know. And it very much falls into the category where he has, you know, deficient energy in the chakras. Singing should be one part of his. So that's how, when you know these techniques can help, that can be one part of your life, daily life, you know. It's just singing in the bathroom, you know, taking the shower and then singing is so easy. But if that could keep up the energy level in the chakra, what's wrong, you know? So we can learn for such techniques also, healing exercises also later on in the sessions.
So now what I understand from these chakra classes are they have this type of knowledge that this chakra works on these systems, and what they are trying to do is they are doing some postures for liver. So they are doing the reverse order. They are trying to work on the liver to help that chakra work well, because some good energy will pass from there if the functions are good. So this is what. So do you think, do you agree with this type of classes now?
Manish, I should say, many people over here think that when I do Vakrasana or Ardha Matsyendrasana or Mandukasana, I can actually stimulate pancreas and make it produce insulin, and that's how I can be out of diabetes. Half of the people has no clue that there is no problem in pancreas secreting insulin. The insulin it can secrete, but it is the cells that they are not, you know, actually resisting that insulin. So just by pressing the pancreas in Mandukasana, in Ardha Vatsendrasana, insulin can be secreted and I'll be out of diabetes. It's still nonsense. You know, do you ever believe that by pressing liver, the swollen liver comes back to the shape? Will it happen? Suppose you are hurt, you know, you are hurt in this midrib of your thumb. Okay. There is some swelling over here and you are feeling excruciating pain. You know, press a little more. Will it help? I don't find the logic behind pressing and compressing the vital organs can create some energy. No. Yoga doesn't work in the physical plane at all. How does then an asana help in stimulating the reproductive system, stimulating the excretory system? How does it help then? Asana, by staying in the posture, we integrate breath, mind, and body and obtain a sense of peace at the final stage. While you are at the final stage, the mind gets decluttered. After acquiring peace, that decluttering of mind happens, and that actually strikes in energy balance. And hence we talk about reversal. Not by pressing and pulling and stretching. No, it never happens. If at all, stretching, pulling, and pressing could have helped, the greatest and greatest of yogis, should be all those fellows who work in the circus. They should be out of all the disorders. I think Manish froze. Acha, Manish is still there with me. Okay.
So any of you have any questions?
I hope there's not any, as usual.
I have, when I asked people around them that what you teach in your chakra classes, please come and join us. No one joined, but somebody wrote me that she might join and her argue will be, but she later said she's not joining. She said, they chakras need to be opened, cleaned, aligned according to Kundalini energy going to the spine. It can be done through visualization, meditation, Reiki, and the postures facilitate the energy release from that area.
Yes, she is right. She is very much right. Not only asanas that's the basic thing. When you find that yujjate anena iti yoga, integration happening, there is this shanti, that occurs in the mind. And that actually creates the magic. That actually invokes the Kundalini energy. And it is not at all possible with the 5 classes, 6 classes, if at all you're all those Jivas of Swami Vivekananda. But we are all normal persons. We can take years, we can take months, we can take lives together to obtain such progress. I don't think so with a few weeks sessions, such Kundalini arousal can happen. If somebody is saying that, it is definitely not good. It is definitely not right. So many people meditate. So many people do Reiki. Are all their energy chakras are open? So it's a thing to be pondered over. And I think that not only practices can help. I will definitely say when your personal life is at mess and you are tiring out on the mat, you are doing meditation, you are doing pranayama, you are a great pranic healer, Reiki grand master yourself. How will you justify this? How is your energy balanced? When Manipuraka itself is about relationship, when Anahata itself is about your emotions, when Swadhisthana itself is about your treating your life partner, how you are treating your life partner. When Muladhara itself is about how grounded you are, how good is your relationship with your, employers and employee. So there is so much connection with your life being, moderated well, aligned well. Your psyche, your emotions, your behavior, everything aligned well, and that's how you bring in balance. not with 5-6 sessions of meditation this is possible. But yes, the statements that she was saying was right.
Okay, so anyone has any questions?
I have not a real question, but in a way, I would try to summarize what this discussion brought up to me. So I found it very interesting, especially because I could make some connections with my practice in homeopathy. But
Right.
Coming back to how you defined the chakras, I would say, me personally, I'm only talking about me. I don't know what chakras are. I don't have the real tangible perception of it. I have maybe some entrance to something. But I think for today's lesson, with all of us, we tried to understand this something very, let's call it sensitive, or let's say of a more refined nature, what chakra is, with our own instruments, whatever we have. So one has this knowledge, this intelligence, these emotions individually. Everybody has their own set of perception instruments. And therefore, we will refer to whatever information you gave via these things. And for me, I would try very much to first reflect on myself, what this brought to me, what was new. And I would also very much insist on this connection of, okay, let's say not correcting, but moderating or aligning, better said, my emotional behavior, let's call it so, and mental. So mental, emotional, mental, and then, okay, coming back to
behaviors.
Yes. And
yes,
this is the aim in itself. My aim is not to get access to anything unknown or beyond my present knowledge, because this would be like, how to say, like thieves. I would try to enter somewhere which I'm not yet ready to. When I'm ready, then it will, like you said, it will open.
It will automatically open.
Yes, but this is depends only on me. It's not something that I will achieve through lessons or something like that.
Definitely. Certain people grow through experience, Aurelia. When you get so many experiences, then you grow through them, then you learn through them. So such experiences actually make you more better a personality. Or what is this life? You are talking about what chakra is. I'm asking you a simple question. What is your life? Why are you given this life? Don't we know that Alexandra, Alina, Mihaela, Imola, Simona, Roxy, Aurelia, everyone over here, don't we know all our lives are just one more opportunity given? It's just one more opportunity given. What best that we are going to do with this? Do we have to show grades and we are superstars? No. It is just one step higher a human, how you are developing you to be. That is that opportunity given. And it amounts to all the elements involved in life. Personal, professional, familial, social, intellectual, all those elements. So when you work with all those elements, eventually you become a better person, better human being. Better human being is being better a divine being. That is what yoga takes you to. And hence these chakras, those are intangible, not feelable, but still workable. When you know what this chakras, and when this chakra will get to open, you will automatically bring in that in transformation in life. So that opportunity has to be grabbed well.
So if you don't have any other questions, can I request you, if you want, I'm going to take a screenshot. If you want to on your cameras, you can on it. If you want to off it, you can off it. So, okay, it will be for campaigning on Facebook. Okay, okay, so I will take it. Okay, Andrea is coming. Okay, okay, good. Good. So thank you for joining, and we will continue this session from next to next weekend, because next weekend Dr. Lalitha is not available. And for next weekend, as soon as I hear from her, I will tell you the topic. Okay.
I have to still work with this, the higher chakras. We have just finished with the lower chakras. Throat, eyebrow, and the crown chakras have to be finished. So
Yeah.
higher chakras are more about spirituality. So we'll discuss uh, 2 weeks later. Until then, thank you so much. Have a great life. Have a great life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Judith, are you there? Ah, she left. outside. Okay, so when you came here, no, it was good that the mirror was here.
The class was at 12, not 12:30.
Okay. Then I asked him, why didn't you wrote me? I was like, why didn't you wrote me to open the door, not the form? I received your form. Okay, like last time you came early and you wrote, no?
Yeah. I don't know, I think it was some problem with the internet connection because I wrote to the message, but the message wasn't sent.
Okay. I'm very responsive on Facebook, so you can always try it. Good. Okay, the mirrors really helped. Okay. Okay, so we are 3 here, no online. So Christina, how are you? Why? What happened to your job?
I have to change the job.
You want to be a yoga teacher? I can give you that job.
Not yet.
We have, I have 2 clients who are working in consultancies. If you want I can get in touch with them.
Okay. Maybe it should help.
Okay. Okay. So Adik, you had any muscle fever from last class? You had any muscle fever?
Yeah, I went to the
Sorry?
I went to the gym also afterwards,
Okay.
and the fever is gone.
And what happened to Florina? She's
Okay.
not joining today?
A bit of fever, yeah.
She's not joining today?
No, she went to one or three, so.
Okay, good. So, okay, let's start. I'll just lock the door.
I lost.
You can have that in the breaks. Okay, so, okay, stand and stretch. Okay, I think this is your favorite class.
Pretty much, yeah. I also like
Stress, anxiety, depression.
yeah. But that class is just once a week, so.
Okay.
And on Monday.
Monday you can't come?
I can come, but usually I come Sunday, and on Monday I have muscle fever, so it's not a good match.
So, whenever you have something like this, write me, okay, and I can check the schedule. So this Wednesday, we are doing yoga for intermediate.
Intermediate is harder or
So right now, for example, we are doing beginners, intermediate, advanced. So we are progressing. So stress and And stress, anxiety, depression. Friday is too heavy. Yes. So we'll see. So Wednesday I can put intermediate, and then next Wednesday we will put.
So intermediate is harder than the strength and stretch.
Actually, it will not be harder for you since you have flexibility. So intermediate is more related to the flexibility. Okay. Uh, so let's say all the push-ups from strength and a bit extra stretching poses. So that's a class intermediate. Good. So coming up front of the mat, Tadasana, outer foot in one line. Take your toes up, open up your hips, lock the hands back, lifting up the chest, not like this, just lifting it up. I had some muscle fever from sun celebrations, 60 sun celebrations yesterday. Okay, open the hips a bit more. Yes. Without backward bending, so only hips will move. The heel should be out a bit more. It should be in a straight line from here, so a bit in. Let's say this way. Let's see. Okay, so hold. Bring your palms together. Inhale, backward bending. Exhale, forward. Inhale, right leg back maximum. Exhaling, downward dog. Inhale, drop your knees. Exhaling, chest and chin. Go down. Downward dog. Right foot in between your hands. Forward bend. Backward. Forward. Inhale, right leg back maximum. Exhaling, downward dog. Plank. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward. Right foot in between your hands. Forward bend. Backward. Continue forward. Right leg back. Exhaling, downward dog. Inhale, drop your knees. Exhale, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward. Inhale, right foot, wait. Right leg up maximum. Chaturanga. Upward. Downward. Left foot, left leg up maximum. Chaturanga. Upward. Downward. Right foot in between your hands. Forward bending. Backward bending. Forward. Right hip back maximum. Exhaling, downward dog. Right leg up, dropping on the left side. Chaturanga. Upward. Downward. Same practice on the side. Yes. So this knee is not bad. You need to take. Yes, now. Yes. Upward. Downward. Right foot in between your hands. Forward bending. Backward bending. Forward. Right leg back. Exhaling, downward dog. Right leg on the left side from beneath. In the middle. Yes, chaturanga. Upward. Very good. Downward. Other side. Chaturanga. Upward. Downward.
forward. Right leg at maximum. Exhaling downward dog. Plank. Chaturanga. Move front and forth in Chaturanga. And downward dog. No upward, downward. Okay, so I will show you what is the difference between upward and downward here. Okay?
I know the
You know?
difference, but sometimes I mistake them.